This started because he told me it might be worth the risk of the speculation that we saw with Chandra Levy and Gary Condit to kill me verbally. I couldn't get my recorder out and record the conversation where it was safe. So I'm like, I got to get him to say it again somehow. So I texted him, and he actually repeated it in a text. Same thing. Might be worth the risk of Mr. Perry having the speculation that we saw with Gary Condit and Chandra Levy if we kill you. So that happened. This is what happened after that. He said he signed an NDA. And you know how they said, Kohlberger said, don't worry, I'm here to help you. Don't worry, I'm here to help you. Like a mind fuck. I think you're safe. See? I wasn't safe, and he knew it. He just told me it might be worth the risk to kill me, the way that it might be worth the risk of the speculation being on Charles Perry that Gary Condit had on him regarding Chandra Levy. And then all of a sudden, I think you're safe. Huh. Okay, so needless to say, after this conversation, I never saw this guy again. This is what he looks like. Came to my work, where I knew who I was. I didn't know him. I have a legitimate reason to be at work. So, here we go. He's watched from afar, see? I don't know the guy from Adam. Here he says he signed a letter of discretion or an NDA. So let's back up since I found it. Stop. Back up. Maybe I hit a nerve, so maybe I won't stop or back up. Maybe Mr. Perry's going to jail. He'll be stopped if he won't stop on his own. He's not a big boy. Can't put his big boy pants on and be like a dignified human being, so somebody else will do it for him. Okay, notice how this guy says stop when I say something he didn't like. He was very rude and interrupted me. Shh, stop, don't talk, don't say things we don't want you to say. Right here. Stop talking. You're not saying what I want you to say. Yeah. Mr. Perry just again refused to comply with the law and fuck off and leave me alone. Just again did it. I refuse to leave you alone. So, duly noted for the record. Again. Okay, here's some of them. Okay, so basically, this is August 13, 2026. Basically, this guy came into my club. I don't know him from Adam. He says he's in bridge and road construction. So I'm like, oh, you've heard of David Roberson. And at this point, supposedly, he's not supposed to know how I know David Roberson or anything about any of that. You know, maybe he's just a mutual friend. Maybe he's just a friend of mine. Maybe oh no, never heard of him. And you've been in road construction in Oklahoma for 30, 40 years and you've never heard of him. So when he denied ever hearing of him, I knew that was bullshit. So they basically used him to give me money when they wanted something from me or well, now she'll do as she's told. She'll mind us so she can have a little bit of chunk change here and barely make ends meet. And then other times, oh, he can't come in. I can't or I can't give you money. If I spent time with customers outside of work, I made them pay for dinner or whatever, but they had to pay me. This is a business. I run a business. I'm self-employed. I'm a small business owner. There was no sex ever. If you notice on here a couple times, he's asking if he can get my home address and pick me up because it was snowing, or can I bring you some furniture when I just moved into my apartment. And if you notice, I've told him no, he did not know where I lived, not because I told him. He might have known where I lived because Charles and Dave told him. He did not know where I lived because I told him. So if you notice a couple of places in here, he's trying to get me to let him come to my house, and I'm like, So we would go to dinner, and that was it. And they had to pay. It's a business. I own a business. It's not a nonprofit. It's a for-profit business. And so basically, when people would come into the strip club, you get to know them, you get the number, and you have them come in as regular customers. There's nights when it's slow. So when it's slow, you call in your regular customers, especially, well, you call them in anytime, but especially when it's slow. It's a business. I have to make money. I'm going to make money. That's why I go to work if you're not there to make money. So we're self-employed. We can decide what we charge, what we expect to be paid for whatever it is we do. If we're meeting them for dinner outside of work or taking time outside of work to text them, and, he had a girlfriend in Roland, I think. So it was definitely not any kind of sex or romantic thing, and not for me anyway. So we had, he's just a customer, and in a strip club is a fantasy land. So we had, but mostly I'm trying to work this guy to get as much information out of him as I can. Same as I did David, same as I did Mr. James. When I sent the text to Mr. James, he had made a comment at work verbally to me that I think it might be worth the risk to for Mr. Perry. We think maybe it's worth the risk of speculation on Charles Perry that we saw on Gary Condit when Chandra Levy died, and that shocked me. That's kind of a shocking thing to say. So I didn't have the ability to record him like I did Pinto. Where I was standing talking to Pinto, I could record the guy and know that he could not see my recorder. That was not the case with Mr. James, but I knew the next day I needed to get him to say it again. If you notice, I initiated the conversation. I tried to get him, what you said last night, I need you to repeat that, basically is what I did, and he did it. So I'm working these guys for two things. One is to get information out of them because I believe they're stalking me for Mr. Perry and Mr. Roberson. Well, during a lot of this time, we're in court. It's during court. So this is out-of-court harassment is what this is, stalking and harassment. Why do they come where I am? I'm at work. I have a legitimate reason to be at work. They do not have a legitimate reason to be sending people to my work and trying to get my home address, like he did a couple times, and trying to, Mr. James kept trying to get me to go to the shooting range with him. Well, what's his agenda with trying to get me to go to the shooting range? He said that he trained FBI agents and law enforcement in shooting. So do they all know him in Tulsa? In Oklahoma, do the law enforcement agencies know? Does FBI George, does he know Mr. James from that? Where are these guys coming from that they were sending into my work? So now you've got David Roberson, Terry Wagner, Mickey James, Pinto, Jacob, all coming to my work. That's 5 people. There was more than that. These are just maybe the more compelling conversations where somebody's was a little more blatant with the, stalking comments and conversations. I didn't know these people. They came to my work. That's how I met them. But so I'm trying to do that. I'm trying to get intel out of them. Number two, and they don't know that, by the way. I didn't tell them that's what I was doing. Number two, I got quite a bit out of Mickey James, though. Number two is, and David Roberson also admitted to giving me arsenic in my drink, and grabbing my crotch, even though he'd been asked to stop. And these are all in texts. The second thing, though, is in the meantime, I got to pay bills. And I got to make money. So at the time, I'm working as a stripper at a strip club, and I'm running it like a business. I'm not doing this for free. I intend to make money. I expect to be paid. And if you're not going to pay me, there's another customer over there who will. So that's what I'm doing. And I had my fees for certain things that we did, and that's what I charged. That's what I expected to be paid. It's not a for profit. This is not a charity. So that's what I did. But Mr. Wagner, a lot of these guys that would come in and they're all available if Charles and Dave were happy and needed information out of me and wanted them in there to try to get me to say where I live, maybe, or my real name or something. Then they're all about the money. But if I pissed them off, then I can't go in. Make sure she don't have no money. We hear them say that all the time. Like the hillbillies. Make sure she don't have no money. I mean, we're just like, oh my God, wow. First of all, it's none of your business where I work. It's none of your business how much money I make. None of your business at all. Second of all, where does the cash, can these people prove where they got the money that they gave me? Can they prove that they made the money at their job? Or did they get the money from you? So you're giving them money to give to me based on coercion. It's the conduit of coercion. If we're happy with you, we'll give you money. If we need information out of you, we'll give this guy money to give you money. If we're pissed off at you, then you're cut off. Don't bite the hand that feeds you. We took your steak, here's your canned food, and we're going to take the canned food too. Why don't you like us? Okay, so our guys have looked into where they got the money that they gave me. Did they get this as their own money, or is this money that Charles and Dave gave them to give to me as like part of the coercion? So to get whatever it is they wanted on any given day. Why does a guy go into a strip club on the night his wife dies? Who the fuck does that? Not available because I'm so upset. My wife has cancer. She's dying. And then the night she dies, hey, I want to come in and get his lap dance from you. And we're all like, holy shit. Wow. So that's not on the, that's a little shit. That's not fishy. That's not fishy at all. So anyways, that's what I've been dealing with, is these people just all over me, all on my back, constantly trying to pressure me or get information. It doesn't get any easier to get information or investigate or participate in an investigation when the bad guy comes right to you and won't fucking leave. It doesn't get any easier than that. So, but I mean, when they got mad at when I typed up my motion to intervene for Mike Neely, they got so mad that they made sure my electricity was off for a week. Literally had no electricity for a week. We'll get you kicked out of your house. We're going to make you homeless. We're going to make you... Gregory's real big on that. He's constantly, kick her out, make her walk on the street and pack her bag and kick her out, baby. I mean, just, she don't mind us. She's going to mind it. I was just like, wow, tough guy picking on a little old granny. You're just real tough there, hiding behind other people and your phone and your computer, picking on a woman. I didn't pick the fight, you did. Okay, I don't know you from Adam. I don't know you. So how do you know me? That you would say something like that? But we heard it. We have it recorded. It's duly noted for the record. Charles Ferry again today said, I refuse to leave you alone. I will not leave you alone. I'm going to bother you and harass you and threaten you and harass you and bother you and because he has nothing better to do. And that's not what power guys do. That's not what men with dignity do. And that's why you can't get a name and I can. A whole bunch of them. Because I don't know Gregory. I don't know Gordy. Never met them. I don't know Lucius. I've never met them. Their names come up in police surveillance. We sit there and listen to you guys talk. And and it goes into a court, and the judge can then, get an investigatory order on whoever, or one extended or whatever. So, you're caught. When you get caught, that's when you stop. Not that you would act like this anyway, but we don't act like you, and we can get names and information, and you cannot. So there's that.